My competitors are charging $99 for courses, and I'm charging over $10,000 for pretty much the same stuff by working directly with the client. The crazy part is when you make this shift, you'll make 10x the amount of money with a fraction of the customers. That means way less headaches. And I'm going to show you exactly how all this stuff works. I'll show you the real psychology behind it and the 3 factors that let you charge 100, 200 times more than what you're doing now while delivering results that no course ever could. So by the end of this video, you're either going to think I'm insane, and that's totally fine, or you're going to completely rethink about how you price everything that you sell. And if you're selling anything under $1,000 right now, and you're wondering why you're broke, why you're working 60-hour weeks, and why you can't scale, then this is specifically for you, because what I'm about to share will make you more money in 1 month than you probably made last year selling cheap stuff to people that don't even want it. All right, so real quick, my name is Trey Smith. I built and sold multiple companies for as much as 8 figures, including BuildBox.com, AutoFunnel.ai, and more. I used to be broke as hell, selling $47 products and courses on ClickBank. I'd spend weeks building something, right? And then I'd charge hardly nothing for it, and then wonder why I was stressed out, didn't have any money, drowning in customer support emails with a bunch of angry people. Then one thing changed, just one thing. I started charging over $10,000 instead of $99. I was nervous as hell when I did this. I did it on a webinar about a decade ago. And when you make this shift, 3 things are going to happen simultaneously. First, you're going to start working less. I work 2 hours a week. That's all that I work in my coaching business, and it does 6 figures a month. You're going to make a lot more money, and then your clients are going to have better results. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but you have to change everything about my offer, right? I have to change exactly what I'm doing. No, actually, the core processes that you're teaching are going to be similar, all right? So what you teach is going to be kind of the same thing, but how you deliver it, that's where everything changes. And those differences are why you can charge 200 times more while your clients are going to be happy about it, right? It's not like your clients are going to be, you're going to find when you sell cheap stuff, those people are much madder all the time. So here's what no one wants to hear. Poor people sell products. Rich people sell outcomes, all right? And I mean the poor in 2 ways, all right? Yes, in the bank account poor, but also mean how you think about what you're actually selling. See, when you charge $99, you're selling information. All right, you're selling a video course like this thing. When you charge $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, you're selling a result, a transformation, a partnership. And here's what most people screw up with this, right? They think, I need to add more stuff to charge more. No, you don't need more modules. You don't need more videos or a bigger course. In fact, if you did do that, you probably make the classic mistake of confusing your customers by giving them too much stuff, all right? To sell expensive stuff and have people love you for it, you need 3 specific things. It's what we're going to talk about in this video. Thing 1 is positioning. Thing 2 is outcome, and thing 3 is time. These 3 factors are what let you charge $10,000, $20,000 for stuff while other people are stuck at $49 ebooks, okay? You master these 3 things, you're going to be crushing it. So let's start with positioning. When someone buys a $99 course, here's what they're actually buying. They're just buying information from a stranger online on the internet who they don't know, who they have no clue if it's going to actually do anything for them, and they're just a number in a database. Now, when someone spends $10,000, $15,000 and they're purchasing high-ticket stuff from you, they're buying access to you, to your brain, to your experience, and to your time. And look, when you understand positioning, you can make serious money doing this. Not because you're special, but because you understand this positioning. So here's the difference. At $99, they're a customer. At $10,000, they're a client. The $99 customer gets a few videos and maybe a Facebook group. The $10,000 client gets you. In my case, they get me every single week on Zoom, right? Because you're not selling a course. You're selling a person who's already done it. You're selling the outcome. You're going to sell what they're trying to do. Someone who can look at their specific situation and tell them exactly what's broken and how to fix it, right? That's what they want from the course. They just never actually get it. The truth is, they'll be lucky if they get a couple nuggets. But what about 6 months from now when they're trying to scale and something breaks? Maybe it's Facebook ads, right? Maybe it's they need an introduction to someone. Or maybe they just had 2 bad promotions back to back, and they're confused, they're down, and they need some advice. That's where you come in as a coach who sells high ticket. And it's why coaching is more valuable than courses. So here's the positioning secret that changed everything for me. And it's scarcity creates value. Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about slapping a countdown timer above a purchase button when I say scarcity or some other fake scarcity BS. I'm talking about being very selective on who you work with. And when you're selective, when you're not desperately taking every single customer with a credit card, then people want to work with you more. You're like the hot girl in high school, right? Everyone's interested. The difference is night and day. So you need to know, one, your worth, and then two, don't sell information. You want to sell transformation. All right, so the second part of this is outcome, and here's what I mean. When you sell a $99 course, you sell a process, right? Here's how to do cold outreach or build funnels or close sales. When you sell a $10,000 program of working with you, you're not selling a process, you're selling a specific, measurable outcome. For example, in my program, you work with me for 52 weeks, right? And I teach people how to sell high ticket stuff. Now I know I don't accept anyone in this thing unless I know for a fact that they're going to be able to sell one in a 52-week period if they meet with me every single week. So I'll tell them, if I know them and have worked with them before, hey, here's the deal. You pay the money at the end of the 52 weeks. If you show up for every single call and don't get a sell, I'll give it back to you, right? Because I'm selling that outcome. That's how you sell an outcome, right? And I know for a fact with this person, if they do it, that they will get that outcome. You see the difference here? The cheap side is like, hey, here's how to fish. That's their product. The expensive side is like, hey, I'm gonna make you catch a fish. All right, I'm gonna get in the water with you. We're gonna go in there and I'm gonna put on my swimsuit, grab some life jackets. We're getting this fish. So another interesting fact is people who buy cheaper stuff, they usually don't do anything. They just sit on it. They buy it as a safety net. They think, man, if I ever want to do this thing, I have this system. And then guess what? When they don't have success, guess who they're blaming? Guess who they're getting on Reddit and blasting? You, the course maker, right? And that's the 99 product death spiral. With a $10,000 offer, you simply can't afford for your clients not to get results. I want to repeat that. The big difference here is someone sells a $99 course, they don't care. You sell something for 10 grand, you got to make sure that they have success with it. So you got to be picky about who you let in, and then you got to make sure you work with them. If they don't show up for a call, we start calling them and say, hey, you got to get on here, right? If that doesn't happen and they don't succeed, you don't get testimonials, you don't get referrals, you don't get case studies, your entire business model collapses. So you're forced to make sure that they win. You want them getting actionable real results, right? And that's the key. If they spend this much, they shouldn't be Googling for answers. They shouldn't be posting on dead Facebook groups hoping someone responds. They have direct access to someone who's already built the damn thing, right? So that's the whole goal. So again, instead of selling information, you should be selling implementation in this outcome. That's how you can 100x your prices. You're selling something totally different to a different clientele, right? People will pay a whole lot more for certainty than possibility. So think about it like this. Two scenarios I offer you. If I sell you a treasure map for $100, are you going to be interested? Versus, I'm going to take you to the treasure. We're going to dig that bitch up ourselves, and it's going to cost you 10 grand. All right. Now, which one would you take? If you knew the treasure was going to be a lot, you'd obviously take the 10 grand because you know it's going to happen. The $100 treasure map, it might be accurate. Maybe it's not. All right. But you can still screw it up. You can read it wrong. You can give up halfway there. And now to be clear, of course, if you work with someone and you sell high ticket, they have to do the work, right? I'm not saying that they don't and everything will always be guaranteed, all right? You got to make it super clear when selling high ticket stuff that they got a lot of work to do. Right? You got to be picky on who you get. Also, you have to turn down people like I mentioned before. It's crucial because your success rate has to be stupid high for this to work. All right, now here's thing number 3, and this is the one that closes the deal. It's simply extended time. This is the piece most people completely misunderstand about high ticket offers. When someone buys a $99 course, here's what happens in real life. They download it. They're excited for about 20 minutes. They skim through the modules, maybe watch a few videos. They double the speed up because they're already getting bored. Then life happens. They get busy. The course sits there. 3 weeks later, they can't even remember what was in it. They forget your name. Total time invested, maybe 4 to 6 hours if you're lucky. And now they're on their own trying to implement something they barely absorb, wondering why nothing's working. Now, a high ticket program costing serious money. If someone wants to invest $13K to work with someone for a long time, then their ass is going to be on these calls, right? In my case, I'm talking to people for 100 hours plus a year, right? They're not watching videos. They're not watching modules. They're not being on their own, right? It's 100 hours of here's exactly what you need to do next. Let me watch you do it. Let me correct it in real time. So instead of Googling obstacles and getting hallucinated by ChatGPT, they're literally just like, what would you do here, Trey? I haven't gotten any sales and I'm not sure why. And then you tell them, well, they got a full year to get this right. Here's what you do right now. And then you tell them they got a full damn year to get it right. And here's what nobody talks about with these courses. Business changes. What worked 6 months ago when the course was recorded might not work now. And most people sell courses because of some hack they figured out. And let's be honest, they typically sell it after the hack quit working for them. If you bought a course and it doesn't work, that might be why. But with 52 weeks of support or whatever you do for your high-ticket clients, you're giving them a real playbook. This is the stuff that's working right now, will work forever because it's actually foundational and it's focused on time, effort, and attention. Not some recording from 2 years ago that's outdated. You're selling support, real-time, ongoing, current support, right? You're selling accountability, right? Someone who won't let them quit or give up. And time support is the most valuable thing on this planet. If you can help someone make their first 10K or whatever it is, whatever the goal is in 60 days instead of 3 years of struggling alone, and it gives them a full year of support to make sure they don't just hit that goal once, but build a system that works consistently, I mean, that's worth a lot, right? It makes sense. So 3 things. Let's go ahead and recap these really quick for you guys. And this is how you can charge something at 200x your prices, 10, 15, 20,000 instead of 99. All right, so thing number 1 is positioning. You're not selling a product, you're selling access to expertise, to experience, to personalized guidance. They're not a customer, they're a client. And you're selective about who you work with. Thing number 2 is outcome. You're not selling information, you're selling the result, a specific measurable transformation with a guarantee behind it in a lot of cases. You're on the hook for making sure that they actually get it. Now, thing 3, you're selling time. You're not selling a course they skim through in a weekend. You're selling an absolute ton of coaching time so they can actually bypass all these obstacles and get off the ground. And these 3 things are why you can charge 10K plus while your competitors are charging $99 and $49 for ebooks. And why you can make serious money while most course sellers are constantly struggling. Trust me, they come to me. All right, so I'm curious what you're selling and if you've tested high price points before. Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Got tons of more videos and content coming your way. This is Trey Smith. I really enjoyed this and I hope you did too and learned something. We'll talk to you later.